Chapter 4. Boom! Someone knocks on the door again. Dudley wakes up. Then Uncle Vernon comes downstairs and he has a gun. "Who's there?" he shouts. "I warn you, I have a gun." There was a pause. Then the door falls down. A big man is standing there. He has long hair and beard. He gets in the house, picks up the door, and puts it back into its place. Then he walks over to the sofa and sits next to Dudley. Dudley cries and quickly runs to his mom. Aunt Petunia is standing behind Uncle Vernon, and they are all afraid. Harry looks at the big man. He's smiling at him. "When I saw you last time, you were a small baby," says the big man. "You look a lot like your dad, but you have your mother's eyes." "Can you leave the house, sir?" says the Uncle Vernon. "You entered our house and you are breaking the law." "Shut up," says the big man. He goes to Uncle Vernon, takes his gun, and breaks it. Uncle Vernon is now so scared. The big man turns around and says, "Happy birthday, Harry. I have something for you. I probably sat on it, but it will taste good." He brings out chocolate cake from his pocket and gives it to Harry. There's a sign on the cake and it says, "Happy birthday, Harry." Harry looks up at the big man. He wants to say thank you, but he is too shocked. Instead, he says, "Who are you?" The big man smiles. "Yes, I didn't introduce myself. Rubius Hagrid, keeper of keys and grounds at Hogwarts." He shakes Harry's hands. His hands are so big. "Can you bring me tea?" he says to Dursley's. He sits on the sofa and starts fire. How did he start fire? No one knows. Then he starts cooking sausages. He gives few sausages to Harry. Harry is so hungry and sausages are so delicious. Harry asks again, "I'm sorry. Who are you? I still don't know you." "You can call me Hagrid. Everyone calls me Hagrid. As I said before, I'm keeper of keys and grounds at Hogwarts. Of course, you know all about Hogwarts, right?" No," says Harry. Hagrid looks shocked. "Sorry," says Harry quickly. "Sorry?" says Hagrid, and then looks at Dursley's. "You shouldn't be sorry. They should be sorry. I knew that you weren't getting your letters, but I never thought you didn't know about Hogwarts. Where did your parents learn all those things? Do you know it?" "Learned what?" asks Harry. "Learned what?" shouts Hagrid. "Are you telling me that Harry doesn't know anything?" he says to Dursley's. "It's going too far. Of course, Harry knows few things. He goes to school." "I know some things," says Harry. "I can do math, you know." Hagrid shakes his head. "No, no, about our world, your parents' world." "What world?" "You know about your parents, right? They're famous. You're famous." "What? My parents are famous?" "You don't know about them," says Hagrid again. "Stop," shouts Uncle Vernon. "Don't tell the boy anything." Hagrid looks at Uncle Vernon angrily. "You never told him? You didn't tell him about the Dumbledore's letter? I saw it. Dumbledore left the letter with Harry." "What letter?" asks Harry. "Stop! Don't you say anything," shouts Uncle Vernon. "Harry, you're a wizard," says Hagrid. There's a silence in the house for a moment. "I'm what?" says Harry. "A wizard, of course," says Hagrid. "I guess you should read your letter now." Harry takes the letter and reads it. "Hogwarts, School of Wizards. Headmaster Albus Dumbledore. Dear Mr. Potter, I'm happy to say that you can go to Hogwarts. Please find things on the list below. School starts at September 1st. You should send your owl before July 31st. Minerva McGonagall." Harry wants to ask a lot of questions. Which one should he ask first? He doesn't know. After a few minutes, Harry says, "What does it mean? They will wait for my owl?" "Oh, I forgot," says Hagrid. Then he brings out an owl from his pocket and writes on the paper. Harry reads the letter. "Dear Professor Dumbledore, I gave Harry the letter. Harry and I will go tomorrow and buy his things. Weather is bad. Hagrid." Hagrid gave this letter to his owl, and the owl flies away through the window. "Where was I?" says Hagrid. "He's not going anywhere," says Uncle Vernon. "I don't think a muggle like you can stop him," Hagrid says. "A muggle?" asks Harry. "We call normal people muggles," says Hagrid. When we took him, we decided to stop this nonsense, says Uncle Vernon. We will get this thing out of him, this wizard thing. You knew, says Harry. You knew that I was a wizard? Knew, says Aunt Petunia. Of course we knew. Of course you're a wizard because my stupid sister was the same. She received a letter just like you when she was a child. I didn't like it, but my parents were so proud of her. She stops, takes a breath, and continues. Then she met that stupid Potter, and they got married, and then they had you. After that, someone killed them. Someone killed them? Asks Harry. You said they died in a car crash. Car crash? Shouts Hagrid angrily. How could a car crash kill Lily and James Potter? Harry doesn't know his own story when everyone knows his story. What happened? Asks Harry. I didn't expect it, says Hagrid. Now, he's not angry. Dumbledore said that you probably didn't know much, but you know nothing. Maybe I'm not the right person to tell, but I guess I have to. Everything began with one bad person. Who? Asks Harry. People called him you know who. I don't like to say his name. People are still scared of him. He became a really bad person. Really, really bad. Hagrid tries to say his name, but words don't come out. Can you write his name? Says Harry. It's okay. His name is Voldemort, says Hagrid. I don't want to say it again. About 20 years ago, he turned into a bad person. People started joining him. Some people joined him because they were afraid, but some people joined him because they wanted power. Terrible things happened because of him. Of course, some people fought against him and died. Hogwarts was the only safe place. He was afraid of Dumbledore. Your father was a great wizard, and your mom was a great witch too. They were two of the best students at Hogwarts. About 10 years ago, he went to your house and Hagrid starts crying. He brings out a handkerchief and wipes his eyes with it. He killed your parents, he continues. Then he tried to kill you too, but a strange thing happened. He couldn't kill you. How did you get that scar on your forehead? Do you know it? That's not a normal scar. When he tried to kill you, you got that scar. He didn't kill you. You're famous because of that. When he wanted to kill someone, he always killed that person. He killed some of the best witches and wizards, but only you stayed alive. You were just a baby, but you stayed alive. When Hagrid is telling this story, Harry remembers the green light. Also, he remembers Cold's terrible laugh. I took you from the house and brought you to these people. It was Dumbledore's order, says Hagrid. Now listen, boy, says Uncle Vernon. I knew you were strange. Probably I could never change it. Your parents were the same. They died because they were strange like you. Probably it's good that they died. At that moment, Hagrid stands up from the sofa, brings out an umbrella and says, I warn you, if you say one more word. Now, Uncle Vernon is afraid again. He doesn't say another word. Good, says Hagrid. Harry wants to ask so many questions. He asks, what happened to you know who? A good question, Harry, says Hagrid. He just disappeared. When he tried to kill you that night, he disappeared. You're famous because of that. Some people say he died, but I don't think so. Most of us think that he is still alive, but he doesn't have his power. Harry doesn't feel proud or happy. Instead, he thinks that Hagrid made a mistake. Uncle Vernon and Aunt Petunia always bully him. Dudley always beats him. He cannot even stop them. So, how did he stop the most horrible wizard ever? Hagrid, says Harry. I think you made a mistake. I don't think I'm a wizard. Hagrid just laughs. Not a wizard, huh? Says Hagrid. Did you ever do something strange when you were scared or angry? Harry thinks about it. Yes, his hair grew back only one day after Aunt Petunia shaved it. Also, Glass disappeared because he was angry at Dudley. All strange things happened when he was scared or angry. Harry looks at Hagrid and smiles. Hagrid also smiles at him back. See, says Hagrid, you will be really famous in Hogwarts. But Uncle Vernon doesn't want to give up. I told you. He's not going, says he angrily. He's going to different school. If he wants to go, he will go, says Hagrid. You cannot stop him. He will go to Hogwarts and study under the greatest wizard of all time. Albus Dumbledore. I'm not going to send him to some stupid old man. But this time he went too far. Hagrid takes his umbrella and shouts, "Never insult Albus Dumbledore in front of me!" He points his umbrella at Dudley and does something with it. Everyone shouts because now Dudley has a pig's tail behind him. Now everyone is afraid. Uncle Vernon, Aunt Petunia, and Dudley all go to the other room. "I shouldn't be angry like this," says Hagrid. "I wanted to turn him into a pig, but I guess he's already a pig. Please don't tell anyone about this. I mustn't use magic." "Why can't you use magic?" asks Harry. "I use it at Hogwarts, but when I was in my third year, they expelled me. Luckily, I stayed at Hogwarts as a keeper thanks to Dumbledore, a great man, Dumbledore." "Why did they expel you?" asks Harry. "It's late now. We have many things to do tomorrow. Let's sleep now."